Ever wonder why you don't ever get the promotion that you want? Or why you're never getting the recognition you feel you deserve? Ever wonder why your boss doesn't have your name at the front of their minds when promotions are coming down the pipe? I'm going to give you 3 things that you should do to make sure your boss knows what it is that you're doing every day. That's just it. What your boss knows that you're doing every day. So we assume that all bosses know exactly what each person reporting to them is doing all the time. That's not necessarily true, and so it's certainly not necessarily true that it's also in the forefront of their minds. Believe it or not, your boss is busy. Your boss is multitasking. Your boss has so many people that they're trying to please and so many projects on their mind they don't know how they're going to complete them all. So here's how you can help. You can help yourself and your boss. Again, 3 things that you can do to get the promotions that you want and the recognition that you deserve. Number 1, during your one-on-one sessions or when you're passing by with your boss, don't just engage in small talk like the weather, how's it going, I'm fine, how are you? Tell your boss the number 1 thing, which is how you're meeting the expectations of your role. For example, your boss told you that he or she needed you to complete 3 projects by the end of the week. And guess what? You finished all 3 projects by Wednesday. Don't just lay the paperwork on the table and say, I'm all done. No. Remind your boss. For example, hello boss, how are you today? Guess what? I remember you gave me 3 projects you wanted me to finish by the end of the week. I've completed them all by Wednesday. That's something good for your boss to know. Every time you complete a fantastic task in a short amount of time, or should I say in efficiency, let your boss know. Don't let it be just another piece of paper or an email on their desk or in their computer. Here's tip number 2. Now that you've finished your work efficiently in a fantastic way, let your boss know how you've helped other teammates that may find finishing projects challenging. For example, when you tell your boss that you finished the project that he or she told you to finish in a short amount of time, then tell them, by the way, I saw that Charlie was suffering a little bit on the project. I gave him some great tips to help him finish his project just as efficiently, without losing the quality of his work. He'll probably be in your office soon. Wow. Talk about the message that sends. You did an awesome job. You're helping others do an awesome job through great teamwork. That will certainly make your boss happy. And believe it or not, before then, your boss probably didn't know. Here's the 3rd tip that you should consider telling your boss. So remember 1, you talked about your expectations or the expectations of your goals being met in an efficient amount of time with great quality, how you've helped a teammate learn how to do the same thing. Now look at an even bigger picture. What's been on your boss's mind that he or she has been trying to finish, complete, or wrap their heads around? Someone taught me this lesson, and I find it so valuable. Listen to the clues that he or she, your boss, speaks of. For example, let's say that you're all in a staff meeting, and during that staff meeting, you hear your boss say, wow, I've got this really creative, out-of-the-box project I need to finish. I really wish I knew someone on our team that would be able to do that. But I really believe I'm going to have to hire at least a temporary person to make sure this project goes through. Wow. In your mind, you're thinking, and I'm the person for that job. But guess what? In your boss's mind, they don't hear anything. They don't know, or they haven't considered the idea of making you a part of that project. So when you speak to your boss one-on-one, make sure you mention that you are very aware of the boss's concern. For example, boss, of course you would call your boss by his or her name. Boss, in the staff meeting I heard you talking about hoping for somebody creative who thinks out of the box to finish project ABC. Guess what? I've done something very similar before, and I'd really love to help you out on that. Actually, I had an idea. Would you like to hear more about it? You've done what you were expected to do in an efficient way. You've helped someone on the team or several people on the team do the same. And now you're recognizing, hey, my boss talked about this challenge. I heard him or I heard her, and I'm offering my help because of my skill set or my experience in that venue. That means a lot to a boss. But don't stop there. Just because you talked about those 3 things to your boss, don't think that one time's enough. Make it repetitive. Should you tell your boss every day? Probably not. But should you tell your boss as you have one-on-one sessions with him or her? Absolutely. Because your boss is going to continue to hear those things, they're going to make sure to recognize that your greatness, the effort, and the results that you produce are consistent. That is a good feeling. That builds trust, and that will certainly keep you in the top of your boss's mind for recognition and promotion. I hope that you found this helpful. I know for sure these tips absolutely work. If you have more tips, please share them with the rest of the Rise and Fly family. Now say that 3 times. Comment below and share your tips. We'd love to hear them. I hope for a wonderful, wonderful professional journey for you. Reach out to me if you have questions. I look forward to your comments. I would love to see you one-on-one in one of my coaching sessions or in a group session that I'm having. So make sure that you look at the website, riseandfly.net, to see what's going on and how you can join us. I hope you have a wonderful professional journey. Rise and fly.